Hi guys, and welcome to another WordPress Divi theme tutorial. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, today we're going to be doing a timeline. If I just scroll down, this is the one we did yesterday. Well, actually the one below is, but we're going to do this one today. Pretty easy to do. Divi is an awesome theme. If you're building any sort of WordPress site at all, I do suggest you check it out. And if you want to take it for a test drive, you can do so from my affiliate link below this video. So let's get started. Let's make this timeline here. And as per usual, what I'm going to do today is use Divi's visual builder so we can build on the front end. And once loaded, I'm going to go down to where I want to work. Which is right here. And I'm going to add my new module. By default, Divi comes with all these grey modules here, plenty to get you up and running and build a great site. The different color ones are some third-party plugins that I've been using. But today we're just using the built-in modules from Divi itself. I'm going to insert a blurb module. Here it is. If I move this over here out of the way, this is the default one. And title, I'm just going to give it a date. I've really got no content to put in here. I'm going to leave the content as it is. And I'm not going to use an image. I'm going to use an icon just like we have in these other blurbs over here for the sort of flowchart thing that we did yesterday. So if I close that up with the little chevron there, go down to image and icon, check the little use icon box here, and Divi comes with all these ET icons, and there's lots of them and they're great. And so we'll just choose any old one here. Let's go down and I guess we'll use that one right there. Okay, so that's our main structure. Let's just hit the check mark to save that. I could have left it open, but this is a basic blurb setup right here. And once you put your setup in there, like I said, I didn't need to close that module, but I just wanted to show you what goes on. Now let's style it the way we want it to. So let's open it back up. And to open it, you just check on the little cog on the dark grey tab there. We'll go over to our design. Image and icon. Oh, this is the icon that we're using. Icon color. Let's have a look. What did I do up above here? I made the icon color actually white, but I gave it a black background. So icon color white, it'll disappear because we got a white background. Circle icon, yes, we want a circle in the background. I want to make that circle black, or of course whatever color you choose to do. And don't need a border. You can put one on there if you want, a different colored one perhaps, just to make it stand out even more. I'm personally not going to use one. Now, image icon placement. At the moment, by default, it's on the top, and I want it to be on the left. So I just click on this little arrow here and put it on the left. There we go. And I want it to be a little bit bigger than that. So I'm going to check the use icon font size button here and just scroll to the size that you want. If you want it huge and you scroll up all the way and it's not big enough for you, you can just type in an amount over here and get it whatever size you want it. But I don't want it quite that big. I want mine something like this. That's fine. There we go. And in the one above, I just copied these, which has 20 pixels padding around it. We really don't need to do that, so I'm not going to. So it'll be slightly more over to the left. And that's fine. If you want to make it further over, then by all means do some padding or margin. Okay, so I'm happy with the icon there. Let's close that one up and go down to the text. Well, actually the text, I'm going to leave it as is. I'm not going to change the color. There's plenty of options for alignment, colors and shadows and everything there. I'm just going to work on the title text there. And it's automatically highlighted it for me. If it doesn't do this and you want to work on that icon text, when you hover over it with your mouse, you'll see this little blue brush icon. If you click on that, it'll take you straight to whatever the thing is you're trying to edit. So if I do that one, it takes us to the image and icon. So that's a nice little shortcut right there. But I just want to work on the title. I want to make it a little bit bigger. I'm not going to change the font. If you do, Divi comes with a ridiculous amount of fonts built in. I'm not going to change the font weight. I'm just going to leave it as regular. You've got your usual ultra bold, bold, semi bold, light. I'm just going to make it slightly bigger. So text color, I'm going to leave it just as it is. And just bring it up in size, something like that. Okay, well that's really our first blurb module. So I'm just going to hit the check mark. Now I guess to keep it in style with the other one above, I'll add a bit of padding just so it is over there. You don't have to do this, but let's just keep it similar to the one above. So again, just open it up with the cog, design, go down to spacing, and all I did was gave it 20 pixels padding either side. Just put in the 20, it'll put in the pics for you. If you hit the chain, it'll fill the opposite for you, and if you change one, it'll change the other. Same with this one. There we go. So that's sort of more similar to the one above. I think the icon and the title might be a little bit bigger, but that's no big deal. So we're happy with that. And let's just copy it however many timelines you want. And to do that, just roll over the little dark grey tag, hit the two rectangles there to copy as many times as you want to duplicate it. I guess we'll do one more. Okay, so now all you need to do is obviously go in and change the stuff for your next bits of information on your timeline. Obviously I haven't got any. I'm sure you'll have some if you're building a timeline. And let's change the icon as well. It highlights the one that you've got there. Next one. And we'll change the icon. Same thing with the next one. Skip forward. I'm just going to go through this as quickly. It's the same with all of them. And the last one. So at the moment we've just got sort of regular blogs here, or regular blurbs I should say. And to really sort of turn it more into a bit of a timeline, what I've done above here is just added a line sort of linking them all together like this. And that's what we'll do next. And we're going to do that with a bit of CSS. A bit like we did yesterday, if you saw that video, we're going to work on the column CSS rather than the actual CSS for the blurbs themselves. So let's go up, and the little dark grey ones are for our actual modules. The green one here is for our row here, which is the row with the two columns in it, which is actually what we want to work on. Blue one up there is for the whole section that it's sitting in there. So we'll work on this green one here, hit the little cog, go over to the Advanced tab. We're going to go to Custom CSS, and we're going to go to column 2. There's column 1 with the blue, and we're working on column 2 here. So we want to go down to column 2 after. And we're going to put in content. And as before, don't worry too much about copying what I'm doing on the screen here. I'll put the CSS I use down below this video. If anybody wants to use it, you're more than welcome to. So you don't have to squint at the screen and try and copy while I'm doing it here. So it's content, colon, a couple of single inverted commas. And then we always finish off with a semicolon so we can add code below. If you don't put the semicolon there, then it won't read the next line of code. And we want to say display block. And then we've got to kind of guess. What we're going to do is create a line that goes all the way down here. And we've got to kind of guess the height of it. We can change it afterwards, obviously. In fact, if I look at yesterday's line that we did for the other one, that's 1150 pixels. So it's going to be something similar to that. So I'm going to put a height of, say, 1200. 1200 pixels. And I want a skinnier line than that, so I'm just going to say a width of something like 4 pixels or 5 pixels. And of course, this is entirely up to you. You build yours however you want to build it, and you can always change it afterwards, obviously. Now, once we put our line there, we want it to stay where we want to put it. So we've got to say position, absolute. Okay, I'm going to make it black, the same as our icons and fonts. Obviously, you can use whatever color you want. I'm just happening to use black here, so it's background color. And black is 6 zeros, but you just need to use 3 with CSS3. And, well, actually, you should be able to see something. It might even be down below. Now we've put a color in. There it is right there. There's our little line. Now, what we've got to do is position it to where we want it, which is pretty much in the middle of these blurbs here. So, let's say, put it at top 0. I might want to drag it down a bit because top 0 is going to be sticking up a bit, probably. Let's have a look, see. So top, I'm just going to write a 0. Yeah, it's a bit high. So let's say 2%, something like that, down. Or you can do it in pixels if you want to. 2%. Yeah, see, if I put that behind there, that's now going to be hidden there. So that'll work. Now we've got to scoot it across to the right. And so this is the left border right here. So we want to say 50, let's try 50 pixels and see how far that pushes it. So we'll say left. Let's try 50 and see what that does. Might want to spell left correctly, or it's not going to work. That's what happens when you talk and code at the same time. It's getting there, but it's not quite in the middle. And of course, as you can see, it's on top of our icons. We want it behind them. So let's add another 2. Nope, still not there. Let's try 54. No. 55. Almost there. That might even be it. Let's do 56. Yeah, I think that's pretty much the center of those icons there. Oh, no, let's do one more just to see. Yeah, I think that'll do fine. Okay, that's great. Well, we've got our little line linking all these things, but like I say, it's on top. And also, it's up to you whether you want it. You can shorten it so it doesn't go any further than that one. It's a little bit too long. I'd like to shorten that perhaps to here or so. So take it down by about 50 pixels. If you want to shorten it so it's behind that one, you want to take it down by about 150. But bear in mind, on smaller devices that might change, so you might have to use some media queries to change that. But I'm just going to have it so it's down here. So I'm going to take off 50 or 60 pixels. Let's try 1140. How does that do? Yeah, no, a little bit less perhaps. 1120. Yeah, that'll do. That kind of tells you there's more coming, or there's a future for us, hopefully. Now what we need to do is hide this thing behind those icons, so we'll do that with a Z index or a Z index, however you like to say it. So it's Z-index. And we've got to give it a negative number to pull it behind what's on top. I'll just do -1. If that doesn't do it, we'll do a bigger number, or a larger negative number, I guess. So -1. Yeah, that's done it. It's pulled it behind there. That's fine. And we'll put a semicolon there just in case we want to add some more code at a later date. And that's pretty much it. So let's save our changes. Have a look at what we got here. It's fine. Let's save and exit our Visual Builder. Hit the little purple button down here. Save. And once saved, I'm going to exit our Visual Builder up here. Takes us back up to the top. Let's scroll down and see what we got. Here it is. And as with Divi, you can do all kinds of other things, hover effect, motion effects and stuff like that if you want to. But there's your basic timeline there. Pretty effective looking. And it works for a lot of things. Obviously you want to style yours the way you want to. I've not put a whole lot of thought into this, but it looks pretty much like a timeline to me. Let's just do one other thing. How about we have the icon change color when we hover over it. Really simple again with Divi. Let's enable the Visual Builder. And let's go down to where we were working. Not that one, this one. Hit the little cog to edit it. And we'll go to our Design tab. And we go to Image and Icon. Now the bit we want to affect is the actual circle here. So circle color. If you hover over the name circle color, you get these little icons appear, the little question mark, arrow, and undo symbol. Let's click on the little arrow. It'll give you some options for default state, that's when you're not hovering over it, and a hover state when you hover your mouse over it. And let's change the color. Let's just make it that blue color like next door for want of anything else. And let's just save that. So now when we hover our mouse over it, once we quit the Visual Builder, it'll turn blue. Now rather than have to go in and edit each of those, what we can do here is just right click on our module tab there, and it'll bring up this little menu, extend blurb styles. Now we don't want everything on the page to have that hover effect on it, but we do want everything in this column. So if we click on the little arrows here, don't want everything in the section or everything in the row, we do want everything in this column. So just click on this column, hit extend. Now that should have extended those styles to all of our little blurb modules in this column here. So let's save our changes and exit Visual Builder. Okay, let's roll on down and see what we've got. That's the original. Here's the one we've just built today. Now when I hover over that blurb, the icon background color circle should change. There we go. There we go. When you just hover over the blurb, it just highlights the little icon there. Of course, you can do something else. You can have a background color appear behind the blurb, whatever you want. It really makes it so easy for you. We'll just do one more. Let's perhaps do that. So let's enable the Visual Builder. go down to where we were. I'm going to leave, that's not where we were, here we are. I'm going to leave that the same as it was, so it's still going to change to the blue. And let's have a blue background come in as well. So go to our edit cog, do our design. Actually, let's go to content and do the background color. And what we can do is there's our little arrow again. So we'll have a default of no color and a hover, and we'll put in that same blue. So there you have it. Actually, okay. So if we do that, we're going to have to change the color of the text. Or what if we take the opacity down? There you go, something like that. Yeah, let's do that. That's very legible. The other thing we could have done was to have the text change color on hover as well, which is very easy to do, same way. So let's just have that. That works for me. And that way the icon's still highlighted nicely and everything's legible. So let's just save that. And we'll copy the styles again. Extend blurb styles to this column. Extend. Save our changes. And exit the Visual Builder. Scroll on down to where we were. I have noticed with extend styles, sometimes with the hover effect, it doesn't actually extend them to the rest of the column. So let's go in there and just copy and paste. Very easy to do. Enable the Visual Builder. And because we're going back in, let's just make a few changes. Here we are here. Let's just do something slightly different. That was fine, but let's do this. Let's go in there. Just having a bit of fun now. And let's again go to our background color under the content tab. This time, let's make it that full blue. Take the opacity all the way back up so we got that full blue. Now let's go to our design tab. Let's go down to our text. And text color, next to there is our little arrow again. And on the hover, let's make it light, so it stands out nicely. That does actually hide the timeline. Go back to the content and take that opacity down a bit so we can still see that little black line through there. Just a little bit. There we go, that's fine. Just taking it down a little bit. Okay, let's just save that. Now, instead of doing that extend, which doesn't seem to work too well with the hover states, we'll just say copy module styles. Left click on there. Go down to the others. Right click. Paste module style. Similar. Right click. Paste module style. And the same for the rest of them. Paste module style. For most things that extend works absolutely fine, but for that hover effect, for some reason, it let me down, but that's fine. That's very easy to do. Now let's save our changes and exit the Visual Builder, and we'll call it a day with this video. There's our original. Here's the one we've just done. So now when we hover, as you can see, the text turns white, the background turns blue. Could have given it rounded corners, but didn't. And it's the same for all the other modules there. So there you have it. There's an interesting idea for a timeline. Very easy to do. I hope you've enjoyed that. Like I say, the CSS I'll put down below the video. You're welcome to use it. I hope you've enjoyed that and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're interested in web development, take a look down below. We've got some great free courses down there. We've also got some premium courses with some huge discounts for our YouTube subscribers, so do check it out. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.